Salesforce integration interview questions and answers. What is Salesforce integration? Salesforce integration is the process of bringing two or more systems together, which allows you to streamline separate processes. Think of cases in your own technology stack in which information is kept in one system but also required in another. By integrating them, you can easily manage all that information through multiple business processes that run across multiple systems. Question number 2. What are possible ways to integrate with Salesforce? User interface integration. Combine the UIs of two or more apps to create composite apps with little or no rework on the UI of each individual app. One example is using Force.com Canvas Business Logic integration. It uses Apex Web Services for inbound and Apex callouts for outbound. It typically handles a scenario where business logic is spread across several applications to implement the complete end-to-end business process. An example would be building complex logic on the data received before committing it into Salesforce. Data integration. It uses SOAP APIs and REST APIs. It typically handles data synchronization requirements, where one application in an enterprise acts as the primary source for a particular business object, like account. Question number 3. What is web services? Answer. Web services is a functionality or code which helps us to do integration. Web services are open standard, XML, SOAP, HTTP, etc. based web applications that interact with other web applications for the purpose of exchanging data. Web services can convert your existing applications into web applications. What is Protocol? Answer. Protocol is a set of mutually accepted and implemented rules at both ends of the communications channel for the proper exchange of information. Question number 6. How many types of APIs are available in Salesforce? Answer. REST API, SOAP API, Bulk API, Streaming API, Metadata API, Chatter REST API, User Interface API, Analytics REST API, Apex REST API, Apex SOAP API, Tooling API. Question number 7. When to use REST API? Answer. REST API provides a powerful, convenient, and simple REST-based web services interface for interacting with Salesforce. Its advantages include ease of integration and development, and it's an excellent choice of technology for use with mobile applications and web projects. For certain projects, you may want to use REST API with other Salesforce REST APIs to build UI for creating, reading, updating, and deleting records, including building UI for list views, actions, and dependent pick lists. Use User Interface API to build UI for Chatter, communities, or recommendations. Use Chatter REST API. If you have many records to process, consider using Bulk API, which is based on REST principles and optimized for large sets of data. Question number 8. When to use SOAP API? Answer. SOAP API provides a powerful, convenient, and simple SOAP-based web services interface for interacting with Salesforce. You can use SOAP API to create, retrieve, update, or delete records. You can also use SOAP API to perform searches and much more. Use SOAP API in any language that supports web services. For example, you can use SOAP API to integrate Salesforce with your org's ERP and finance systems. You can also deliver real-time sales and support information to company portals and populate critical business systems with customer information. Question number 9. When to use Apex REST API? Answer. Use Apex REST API when you want to expose your Apex classes and methods so that external applications can access your code through REST architecture. Apex REST API supports both Auth 2.0 and Session ID for authorization. Question number 10. When to use Apex SOAP API? Answer. Use Apex SOAP API when you want to expose Apex methods as SOAP web service APIs so that external applications can access your code through SOAP. Apex SOAP API supports both Auth 2.0 and Session ID for authorization. Question number 11. What is call-in and call-out? Answer. Call-in is used to exposing our web services to another system. Call-out enables you to tightly integrate your Apex with an external service by making a call to an external web service or sending a HTTP request from Apex code and then receiving the response. Question number. What is remote site settings in Salesforce? Answer. Salesforce allows you to access external website resources from a Salesforce application for your organization. You can access these external websites through Visualforce pages, Apex callout, and via XML HTTP request calls. To avoid accessing malicious websites from Salesforce.com, the website first needs to be registered with remote site settings. Once the site is registered, it can be used within Salesforce.com. Question number 13. What are methods in REST? Answer. Hit J, retrieve data identified by a URL. Hit post, create a resource or post data to the server. Hit delete, delete a resource identified by a URL. Hit put, create or replace the resource sent in the request body. Question number 14. How SOAP and REST will communicate? Answer. SOAP will communicate through WSDL file. REST will communicate through HTTP protocol. Question number 15. What is JSON? Answer. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. JSON is lightweighted than XML. When exchanging data between a browser and a server, the data can only be text. JSON is text, and we can convert any JavaScript object into JSON, and send JSON to the server. Question number 16. What is difference between SOAP and REST? See this picture. Question number 17. When to use Tooling API? Answer. Use Tooling API to integrate Salesforce metadata with other systems. Metadata types are exposed as S-objects, so you can access one component of a complex type. This field-level access speeds up operations on complex metadata types. You can also build custom development tools for Force.com applications. For example, use Tooling API to manage and deploy working copies of Apex classes and triggers and Visualforce pages and components. You can also set checkpoints or heap dump markers, execute anonymous Apex, and access logging and code coverage information. For more information, salesforcestart.com